Meet the genius behind MKBHD's channel, Eric Villa. Eric took the studio to 1 million subs in just 18 months, and he did it without luck, without shortcuts, and without relying on Marquez as the face.
How many hours of Marquez you have per month?
Max like 2 or 3 hours a month.
Instead, he built systems.
So at the beginning of this year, we set up a writer's room. We now have like 5 months worth of videos pre-planned.
How ideas get chosen, how formats compound, how to build a channel that scales past you.
What's up, Eric? Welcome to the 1 of 10 podcast.
Hello, it's an honor to be here. I just want to say, Mom, Abuela, Abuelo, Grandma, Penny, I made it.
Yeah, no, welcome. So yeah, excited for this. For those who don't know you, can you explain who you are and what do you do?
I'm a content strategist, which is like a weird thing to say, but basically I come up with video ideas that I think have a very high probability of helping grow a YouTube channel. I use a lot of data to do that. I use 1 of 10 to do that, YouTube Studio, whatever. I'm sure we'll dig into it. But basically, I am the person who comes up with video ideas for our channel, The Studio, which is the behind the scenes channel at MKBHD. We talk about how we make our videos. We talk about the favorite tech that we use in our day-to-day lives. And more importantly, we highlight a full ensemble of people. So with about 2 hours, maybe 5 hours max of Marquez's time per month, we're able to pull millions of views out of that time. So
you said how many hours of Marquez you have per month for that channel?
It's not like a hard and set rule. It's not like anybody ever came to me and was like, you have this, but like I try to keep it to like max like 2 or 3 hours a month.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And you guys are still able to get millions of views. Yeah. How do you come up with the content strategy in general for the channel?
When I joined was like, there's like all of these tech YouTube channels in the past that hired really, really talented people to become like the face for that channel. I worked for one when I was 15 called XDA Developers. We made like videos about like rooting phones. And then there's Android Authority and Android Police and 9 to 5 Mac and like all of these places. And historically you'd see like really, really big volatility in viewership on these channels because the entire audience would fall in love with like 1, maybe 2 people on there, and they wouldn't really have any affinity towards the brand. They'd be like, I trust that individual person. And so my whole goal was like, let's do something that really hasn't been done before, where people are going to watch this YouTube channel for the channel and for the ensemble and for the brand and not necessarily individual people. So the big content strategy shift was we try to make videos with at least 3 to 7 people on our team. And we're constantly cutting back and forth, and we're showing the chemistry. And even though the value proposition of the Studio channel is something we've seen before, stuff about how to make videos or stuff about what tech you should integrate in your daily life, the way we execute is through the lens of making sure that people appreciate the brand as a whole. And that's what's enabled us to compound. You know, we're a year and a half out now, and we're doing like an average of about 700,000 views a video.
Yeah, because you guys just reached 1 million subscribers, right? So congrats on the gold plaque. But I'm curious to hear more about the history. Like basically what was the goal initially of this second channel for Marquez? And how did it evolve over time? Like you said, when you came in, it was 150K. Now it's 700K average. But initially, what was the goal and what were the pivots over time? To finally land in a spot where it's like growing pretty fast, because I'm sure a lot of big creators are thinking of doing second channels and third channels, but there's a certain way to do it, right? And you guys killed it. So I'm curious because it is known as a really good branded channel as well.
Yeah, thank you. I think the big thing is like when you look at tech videos, people expect like one thing. You know, it's pretty simple. Like I want Marquez to tell me if the phone is good. I want like good cinematography. And Kez really actively wants to be the best of the best of the best of the best, you know? And so he wants to hire really talented people who may get restless if they can only work on one formula for videos. And so the Studio channel, you know, a part of my job is to come in and like add a lot of process and make stuff a little more formulaic per se, so that like there's a consistent value from video to video. Yeah. But the other part of my job is to make sure that like people like working here. You know what I mean? Yeah. To like make sure that like we can stay sane. Because it can get tiring if every day you come to the phone review factory like that. You know, I don't think that attracts like top 1%er talent. And so the Studio, I think, has always been the home for talented people to figure it out.
It's a great way basically to attract talent. It's also a great way to connect with the audience, basically.
Yeah, like I think it's so hard in education especially, and especially in reviews. It's very hard to have a relationship with the audience because they come to you for a value, like a very simple value. And the relationship with the audience can be like, oh, this person reliably delivers that value. But people have been watching Marquez for 17 years. I was 13 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old when I started watching Marquez videos. He was about my age now. And I was like, oh, like I see a part of myself in this person. And even though he only talks about tech, there was this parasocial relationship. It felt like a friend was talking to me. And I think as Marquez grows and things become more polished, it's easy for him to feel like a celebrity and not like your friend who puts you on to good tech. And so stuff like our podcast, stuff like the studio channel, stuff like Marquez coming out of Bushes and our autofocus channel, they help make sure that like, we're still people. And like, we joke around and we mess around, and like the content I don't think can ever just be like, here's how you can learn about the tech.
Authenticity.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, there's a lot of really unique challenges here in like making the studio channel a brand people want to subscribe to, while simultaneously making the channel something that where like so much of the value proposition is like this emotional, interpersonal thing. And like I have to find ways to get each of those value propositions to live with each other. It's a lot of like soft skill.
Yeah, curious about attracting talent, right? So you joined the team and you're a killer, but I'm curious, how do big creators are able to attract talent like you?
So I'm 13 and I'm watching tech videos, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are really good. And I was like a huge Marquez super fan. And so I made a YouTube video titled Marquez Brownlee is Spider-Man.
Wow, at 13.
It was trash. It was a booty video. And then YouTube's algorithm just decides, okay, this is good. It does like 40,000 views overnight. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be a YouTuber for the rest of my life. I was like in 8th grade. And I remember walking into band class, and one of the people who watched that video was this kid named Miles Somerville. Miles also made tech videos. He was also from the suburbs of Chicago. And so he was on the opposite side of the city, and we would meet in the center of the city and we'd hang out. And we become friends through all of high school. We're learning how to make YouTube videos. We become friends with like all of these other kids who have gone on to like start amazing companies and who are like running other like really cool YouTube channels.